Hi YouTube, how's it going? Oros JX here with another video for you guys today. Instead of ranking every Galactic Assault map, I'm actually just going to tell you my 5 favorite maps based only on my personal opinion of them, and that is all. So why don't we get started, guys? And if you guys like this content that I'm putting out for you, please make sure to leave a like and also go ahead and subscribe for me since we just reached our 50 subscriber goal. Let's make that next goal go up to 100 subscribers. Road to 100, baby. Let's start with number 5 on my list. I'd say number 5 is Starkiller Base. I do like playing on this map a lot. I personally believe it's a relatively balanced map for both sides, so the Resistance and the First Order have the chance to win. I'd say it's around 50-50. I would say maybe if I had to give a little nod to one edge or the other, I'd say the Resistance may have the upper hand while they're outside, but once you get inside, the First Order definitely can lock it down and win it there. Also, gameplay-wise, I love to play on this map just in general, regardless of the objectives. I just love the look of the map and the contrast between being outside and inside and using vehicles and then strictly being infantry and ground troops. So that is my number 5. Why don't we move on to number 4? So my number 4 is Naboo, or Theed. And many people like to place this as their number 1, but the reason I have it at number 4 is only because I got sick and tired of playing it during the beta. And that's really like one of my main reasons why it's not like number 1 or 2. But I love the look of the map. I love the design. It just feels so much like a Star Wars movie. It feels like the Phantom Menace, 100%. You feel like the droids invading. And again, with the Starkiller Base aspect, there's a whole outside and inside aspect. And I also love the maps where you have the MTT or the AT-AT advancing on the objectives, so then you'll be inside actually trying to capture like the throne room or etc, etc. And I think this also is a very balanced map because the droids may have the upper hand while, like I said, they're on the outside with the MTT. But once you get inside, the Republic can easily lock down those first 2, making it a more balanced and more enjoyable game for all the players. So why don't we move on to my number 3, which is going to be Kamino. I love this map. Again, with the visuals and how it looks, it is a gorgeous map. The one downside about this map is that if you're playing as a Separatist, it may be easy to storm run that first objective, and then the second objectives are pretty simple to capture. The third objective is probably the most difficult objective to capture in the game because I think the 4th objectives on Kamino are probably the least reached objectives in the whole game. But from my personal experience, I rarely lose on Kamino as the Galactic Republic. Usually we reach the 2nd or 3rd objectives, and then at that point we just take the victory from there. And it's a pity because the 4th series of objectives is probably the most beautiful part of the map, where you're actually inside the cloning facility. You can actually see the clones being created. My number 2 on the list is Hoth, simply because the look and feel of the map is straight out of Empire Strikes Back. Not only that, but once you get into the inside part where the objectives are, I actually love the last 2 objectives. And honestly, this is a fair map for both teams. I have won and lost in this map many times from both sides, and I think it's about pretty even by at this point. And as you can tell from one of my recent videos, I also tend to do very well on the map, which also helps me say that I do like this map. Although the first 2 objectives can be difficult for the rebels to achieve and capture, but you know, it really depends on how good your team is. My second honorable mention goes to Mos Eisley. I do like that map a lot, the look of it, the feel of it, like I say with most, but I also like how it's a city and sort of urban aspect, how you're kind of doing urban warfare, you're fighting in all these buildings, you're opening doors, you're, turning corners. That's kind of what I like. The Vanguard is extremely useful on this map, which is something I like to use a lot. So this is definitely one of my honorable mentions. But why don't we move on to my number 1 on the list, which is Kashyyyk. And if you guys can't tell, I'm a big prequel fan because 3 of the prequel maps are all on this list. And the reason I love Kashyyyk, or at least one of them, is the fact that I loved Revenge of the Sith. And that map looks almost picture for picture from the movie. And that is one of the main reasons that map, it's struck chord with me, definitely. This map it's a little difficult to tell what the fairness is of it because I would say I've had a pretty even win-to-loss ratio on this map on either side, but definitely I'd say that the Separatists have the upper hand until they get to the Venator cruiser, and then that's where the Republic can hold their ground, and especially in the turbo tanks too. The Republic can really hold their ground unless you're playing a relatively good team. So that is really what it depends on. For most of these maps, how you enjoy them, it really depends on who you're playing with, how you play it, etc, etc. But EA should definitely let me man those turbo tanks at some point because that would be fucking awesome. Alright guys, thanks for watching my ranking video, my top 5 favorite maps on Battlefront 2. If you like this content, then please hit the like button below and go ahead and subscribe. Like I said earlier, we have a 100 subscriber goal to reach, and I would definitely like to get there. We have 50 to go. So thanks for watching guys, and you have a good rest of your day.